your guide for today's guided meditation. Today is August 14th, and it's a Friday, and our focus is the razor's edge. Recently, we've looked at fundamental concepts, and today we're going to look at staying on the path, what to do when we fall off the path, and like that. Fridays are used for repairing relationships, making amends, and restoring our practice. And we're kind of down with that last bit. We'd encourage people to check the description box for this and previous meditations. There's information in there about meditation and Buddhism that you might find useful. And about 24 hours from now, there will be a closed caption version that comes with a transcript. And also tomorrow about this time, the super thanks button will be available. Now, it takes about a day to get that stuff lined up. We do guided meditations in the hopes that participants will pick up enough tips, develop enough interest that you'll want to do this on your own bat, in your own home or your garden, and we'd encourage you to do that. In this group, the first 10 minutes or so is samatha, or serenity meditation. We calm down and get into the groove. Once we're there, the second half, we turn to panya, or wisdom. Some people say vipassana. Doesn't matter what you call it. That goes in the same direction. First, we get serene, and then we wise up. Wisdom never arises from a mind in turmoil. The first 10 minutes is probably a decent, simple meditation for beginners. The last half is a Dhamma talk, and that might be surplus to needs for beginners. So with that, on my mark. Please find yourself in a quiet spot. Spine straight, shoulders back. Lower your chin towards your chest and let your hands rest in your lap or on your thighs or your knees. Close your eyes and mouth and imagine a ball of white light an inch or two, 3 to 5 centimeters beneath your nostrils. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Just take smooth, natural breaths for you. Don't worry about how deep or how quickly you are breathing. Just natural for you. When outside thoughts intrude, gently brush them aside, thinking, no, that's not my business. I'm focused on my breath as it goes in through my nose, down past my heart to my stomach, and back out the same way. On Fridays, we start with the Dhammapada, verses 3 through 5. He abused me, attacked me, defeated me, robbed me. For someone hostile like this, hatred does not end. He abused me, attacked me, defeated me, robbed me. For someone not hostile like this, hatred ends. For hatred never ends through hatred. By non-hate alone does it end. This is an ancient truth. So we are taught that our thoughts lead to our moods, our delusions, our obsessions and resentments, and we meditate to calm our mind and tame our heart. We look at our thoughts, examine them, see them for what they are, and let them go. If we let go a little, we get a little serenity. If we let go a lot, we get a lot of serenity. And if we let go completely, that is, if we accept life on life's terms, then we find complete serenity. And what we find is that we're as happy as we want to be. Our attitude is entirely up to us, and we are not the boss. We need to say a word about the human condition. Our human existence consists of 5 khandhas, or clinging aggregates. And they are our body, our feelings, memories and perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness. And they all have the 5 marks of existence, or the 3 marks of existence. That is to say, they are impermanent, anicca, unsatisfactory, dukkha, and not the self. These 2, both the 5 khandhas and the 3 marks of existence, are impermanent. We look at them and we let them go. We don't get attached. And hi, Mitsuko, thank you. Now, as meditators, we have 3 duties: mindfulness, collectedness, and contentment. Mindfulness. In this group, we focus on the ball of light as it goes in and out. And we listen to the Dhamma talk, not to get attached to the words, but to let them wash over us and seep into our consciousness. Our second duty is collectedness, or concentration. And that just means that when these outside issues, stray thoughts, intrude, we gently brush them aside and think, no, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on my breath as it goes in through my nose, down past my heart to my stomach, and back out the same way. And our last duty is contentment. We have a responsibility to be content as we go through life. And that means be content now, not next Thursday, not when our vacation comes. However we are right this moment is how we are. If we are peaceful, calm, loving now, that's the kind of people we are. If we're restless, irritable, and discontent, angry or fearful, that's the kind of people we are. So in a word, I guess you could say one way to look at it would be attentive. And if you can be attentive for a few seconds in today's meditation, As we go through the weekend and look back on last week, you can stitch together these little bubbles of attentiveness. And just a little more, just one more breath. Wait, like that. And as if by magic, you look up and you go, holy cow, I haven't had an angry, resentful, fearful thought in 2 hours. How'd that happen? Well, how indeed. As we look back on our week, we try to look with cool eyes, not getting attached to it. And as I look at my unsatisfactory interactions with people this last week, there are 4 questions I can ask myself. Am I minimizing my part and exaggerating theirs? Perhaps through a sense of entitlement. I wanted sprinkles and I didn't get them, so now I'm throwing a tantrum. Second, was I setting myself up as a victim? Did I set standards that are very difficult to meet? And then when inevitably they are not met, I throw another tantrum. Maybe. Third, was I expecting people to be something they are not? And this is especially true with family members. We know them, we know how they are, and yet somehow we forget. And lastly, was I expecting perfection in this life? And what we see is that our expectations are resentments under construction. So we need to calm down, pay attention, and let it go. And for beginners, this is the end of the first part of our meditation. As we enter the second part, Panya, recently we've been exploring the path laid out by the Buddha. So, how do we stay on the path? The Katha Upanishad, part 3, verse 14, says in part, get up, wake up. Sharp like a razor's edge is the path, difficult to traverse. Ooh. So, we'd best tread carefully. Ajahn Brahm said something similar, different words, but similar, along the same line. The Buddha not only encouraged faith using the metaphoric carrot, the encouragement, incitement, and reassurance that this is a path which produces fruit, he also used the stick. The stick is just reflecting and wisely seeing the consequences of going the wrong way into the realm of craving and desire, of disappointment and frustration. That is enough of a stick because it gives a sense of wholesome fear, ottappa in Pali. Wholesome fear, the fear of the consequences of not continuing to make an effort, not continuing to walk this path, and not continuing to progress as far as your ability allows. So the Buddha didn't say, go ahead and do whatever you want all the time. He didn't say that. And remember, what he did say is that first we act right, sila, ethical conduct, and then we wise up during samadhi or meditation. Always goes in that direction. Straying from the path does not come out of the blue. First, I feel restless, irritable, discontent, uncomfortable in my own skin. When I'm disturbed, there's something wrong with me. So, if I am restless, irritable, and discontent, that is a clear signal that I need to change what I'm doing. Everything outside our reason is subject to interference by people, circumstances, disease, events beyond our control. This is how the world is, and wishing will not change it. However much I want the world to be a different way, the world is already just the way it is. Doesn't matter what my opinion is. What we can do, though, is adjust how we view the world around us. The only thing reliably within our control is our attitude. In aviation, attitude means angle of approach. And we can alter our attitude by changing our point of view, reframing what we see. And we can do that in a number of ways. We can give other people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're having a hard day. Maybe we should see if we could give them a hand. We can be grateful for the many blessings we've been given. And we can fit ourselves to be of service to God and our fellows. All of these techniques are entirely within our power. When we take these steps, we can find a psychic change, a new pair of glasses, or a spiritual awakening. We're literally no longer in the world we thought we were in. We see it from a different point of view. Now, that kind of awakening brings with it a responsibility to act right, to train our mind, tame our heart, and wise up. If I think, as a result of my meditation, that God wants me to shave my neighbor's dog, there's a very good chance, I would say almost 100%, that that was not God, that was what Dhamma Bum thought would be a funny thing to do. An awakening does not give us the right to manipulate others. And let's put it this way, life is a sailboat. It is not a motor launch. With a motorboat, you jump in, fire up the engines, and drive across the lake from point A to point B. Straight line. With a sailboat, to get from A to B, we must constantly trim our sails, take a different tack, and adjust our course in order to reach home. It's not a straight line. So when, not if, we fall off the path, we need to adjust to that, adjust to circumstances. Life is cyclical. Things arise and they disband. They disband and they arise. The seasons change. They never asked me. Sunrise leads to sunset. Happiness and sorrow change places with each other. One minute we're happy, the next minute we're grouchy. So the cycles of life are something we cannot change. The only constant is change. How about that? The best way to get back on track is to reflect and then alter our behavior. If we don't like the outcomes, we need to make different decisions. The best ways to stay on track are to practice our practice. And for that, we must always be mindful of the divine spark in ourselves and other people. When we're interacting with other people, let's act as if we were speaking with God, because that's who we're speaking with. When I'm dealing with my partner, that's as close to God as I'm going to get today. So I should act accordingly. So this weekend, as we look back on our week, try to repair our practice, evaluate where we might not have, where we could make some improvement. If we find ourselves restless, irritable, discontent, disturbed, let's take a breath, step into the next room, close the door, sit down and put the earphones in and cue up this recording. Imagine a ball of light an inch or two below your nostrils. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Mitsuko. And thank you, Mrs. Dhamma, for the wonderful flower arrangement. We always love that. Our next meditation will be Monday, August 17th, and that's at 8:45 a.m. Japan time. And thank you, Dhammaji. Appreciate it. If you're already here, you know how to get here. Hey, cool beans. Thank you for thinking of Mrs. Dhamma too, bud. If you'd like to join us, you can't do it every day. Most people can't do it anytime, and they listen to it afterwards, fine. But if you'd like to join us sometime, go to today's Daily Dhamma, and in the description box, there's a 3-step process for how to get in here. And you're most assuredly welcome. One thing we want to be sure we repeat, I haven't said this for a while. The reason that we do this is to give us something to do, I guess you might say. If it's useful, fine, we are tickled pink if this is useful for people. If it's not useful, that's fine too. We did the book for our kids and grandkids. If you're if you're not our progeny, and even if you are, these may not be the droids you are looking for. That too is fine. This is an acquired taste. and we're not trying to shove it down anybody's throat. But thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you again on Monday. And thank you very much, and namaste.